difference, man. Okay, calm down.
Speaking of Palestinians and solidarity and safety, can you tell us about Issa Amro?
Sure. So Issa Amro is a Palestinian human rights defender, recognized internationally as a human rights defender, who established what is today, I believe, the most effective grassroots organization in Palestine called Youth Against Settlements. And many people who've been to Palestine, by the way, has anybody here been to Palestine? Can I see a show of hands? Okay. Anybody here from Palestine? Palestinians?
Yeah.
Right. Well, if you've been to Palestine, especially if you've been on tours, then Hebron is one of the stops, and Youth Against Settlements in the old city of Hebron is one of the places you go to, and they provide tours and so forth. And he created this incredible organization called Youth Against Settlements. And I won't go to the entire story, but his story is absolutely remarkable. The man is brilliant. He is a master at civil disobedience and nonviolent resistance, and everybody wants him dead. The settlers who live right next to him, and these people, these Kahana types like Ben Gvir and others, that's what the place that he's protecting is exactly the place they want to take, and they want him dead. The soldiers who are everywhere in the old city of Hebron want him dead. And the Palestinian Authority hates him because he talks about their corruption, and they want him dead. And the only reason this man is still alive, and if anybody fits the description of a hero, is him. And the only reason he's alive is because he does have some international recognition and international support. And recently, the army declared just the house where he lives and operates his center, just that house, as a closed military zone. Not for the first time. And he was sitting there alone in that house, settlers living just all around, soldiers protecting the settlers and surrounding him, making sure that this closed military zone order is obeyed, and nobody goes in and out, and he's alone. And, we talked about this before. If a year ago, 2 years ago, somebody would have suggested that the Israelis would assassinate Shirin Abu Akleh, nobody would have said it was possible. Nobody would have said that assassinating Shirin Abu Akleh would be possible or would ever happen. It happened.
Because she's so high profile?
Because she was high profile, she was well known, she was a journalist. I mean, there was no reason to expect her to think about it. And she was assassinated, and there were some protests, and there were some, a few people, said it was wrong, but I mean, it's done. There's not going to be an investigation, nobody's going to look into it, it's over. The FBI said, I think they recently said they're going to investigate, the Israelis won't cooperate, it's done. He could be next. And he's actually a much more likely target because the settlers and the soldiers have already pointed guns at him, loaded guns at him. And they were this close to pulling the trigger. And he's got a 10-year-old son. And the possibility of his son becoming an orphan now, tomorrow, the next day, the likelihood is very high. And like I said before, who is there? Where are we? Where is anybody to talk about the safety and security, guaranteeing the safety and security of Palestinians, Palestinian activists, Palestinian journalists, and just Palestinians, who want to go to work in the morning and send their kids to school? They are not safe. They could be killed any moment, and there is no one is going to pay the price. And Issa has become, he is a hero. He stands alone often. I mean, people come, he's got international support, he's got support of some Palestinians, of course, that work with him, that he's cultivated this younger generation of activists. But there are no guarantees that he won't be killed tonight, tomorrow, the next day. And then there'll be some protests, and his picture will show up on social media, and Bernie Sanders will say, yes, it's a terrible shame, and that's going to be it. And that's going to be the end of it. And like I said, I think that's probably the most serious lack within this conversation about Palestine is the fact that there's nobody there talking about the safety and security of Palestinians. And of course, we can't all go there, although we probably should. It'd be nice if we did, but we can't all go there and stand there. So there has to be something else. And Issa is an example, and he will say this too. You know, he said, "I'm one of many. I'm not the only one." There are many. You saw some of the faces, some of the names in the clip that we showed earlier. There's no guarantee that they won't be dead tomorrow. And then what? And this is precisely, I think, indicative of what the reality in Palestine is right now.